My sister has always wanted to have a mini refrigerator inside her room, so she found herself searching for affordable ones in Facebook Marketplace. She was browsing through the page when her eyes caught something extremely irresistible. A certain seller is giving away a used, but free mini refrigerator. She sent a message to the seller immediately to set an appointment. And she'll be picking it up at the seller's house tomorrow. The following day, she asked me to help her since she can't carry the refrigerator by herself, to which I annoyingly obliged. We went to the seller's house and it was quite a long ride. We thought that we were lost because our GPS led us into a forest. But finally, we reached our destination. The house was in the middle of all the enormous trees. My sister knocked on the wooden door, and we were welcomed by a tall man in an apron full of blood. I stepped back and hid behind my sister. The man saw me and laughed. He said that he usually gets the same reaction from visitors, when he is butchering his pigs at the back of his house. He invited us to come in and sit in the living room. He told us to wait for a moment. When we were left alone, I was looking around the house. It has an eerie and strange vibe. I was scanning the place when I saw a little boy staring at me. He was peeking from behind the door of a room near the dining area. He looked pale and worrisome. I waved to say hi, but he hid. I got curious, so I stood up from my sit and went to the room where I saw the boy. When I entered, he was not there, but I saw something bizarre. I saw the picture of the boy hanging on the wall, but he was headless. There were also several headless portraits hanging. I gasped and screamed. My sister and the seller ran towards me. My sister apologized for my intrusion. He said that there's nothing to worry about. Seeing my reaction, he said that photography is one of his hobbies. He's into weird and bizarre subjects, and uses a software to make his headless portraits. Well, he's doing a great job, because the portraits were very realistic, I thought. My sister said that we'll be on our way. The owner asked us to stay for a while because he has prepared food, to which my sister respectfully declined. When we were leaving, I looked back and saw the man staring at us, and I'm still wondering where the little boy is. The mini refrigerator was working perfectly until the next morning. It's not cooling anymore. We have checked the power and the temperature settings, and they were all good. Also, it started producing a clacking sound. She tried to message the owner, but the account has been deactivated. She found it strange. She didn't give it much thought since it's free. She just decided to replug it and leave it for a while, hoping that that will do the trick. My sister went to hang out with her friends that night. I was passing by her room when I heard a clacking noise. Being a curious and nosy kid as I am, I entered her room. It was chilling inside. Then I saw the ref open. There was cold air was coming from the refrigerator. It seems to be working now. Then, I heard the same clacking sound again. It's coming from the inside the ref. I slowly peeked inside, and to my shock, I saw a head. There were boil-like things covering the rotten face. It looks awfully familiar. It's the little boy I saw at the seller's place. His head appears to have been decapitated. I was terrified. Then I suddenly remembered that the boy has a headless portrait at the seller's house. What's more alarming is that there are dozens of headless pictures hanging on that wall. It occurred to me that the man who gave the free refrigerator decapitates people, and put their heads on the mini refrigerator to let it cool, then afterwards, take their pictures. I also remembered that I did not hear any pigs being butchered when we came to his place. I believe he was decapitating people. I slammed the ref and ran to my parents' room. I explained the whole thing while stuttering. At first, they were doubtful because I have a wild imagination. But my father finally gave in to my request. I gave him the location through our last destination and GPS, and he called 911. Several police officers went to the man's place, but it has already been abandoned. They saw decapitated bodies at different stages of decomposition, piled behind the house. Their heads are nowhere to be found. There's a deep pit beside the bodies. They didn't find the headless portraits on the wall, but they found something odd. There were at least a dozen mini refrigerators beside the headless bodies. Then I fearfully realized that my sister and I could have been victims of that gruesome act.